What do you say? How do you say? I'm just about to see another day. I go by the name of Terah Da Barber, and this is Razor Sharp Podcast. Today, we have Duba The Cutta in the building at Apex.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I've been shouting out Apex and Tony Banks for a couple weeks now, repping the barbershop, repping the movement, repping the brand, and we have one of the phenoms of the barbershop with me today to just drop some gems to y'all. So what's up, my brother?
What's going on? How you been?
Salute.
Salute for sure.
Listen, the reason why this interview is so important to me is because I just met you. I was just introduced to you, and there's so many things that I have been told about you that I said I got to get the man's story now before he get too big for his bridges, and then I just can't get no time with him. So first and foremost, tell the people your origin story. Let's go back to the beginning. Where you from?
All right, so I'm originally from Boston, Massachusetts. I grew up in Hyde Park. I spent a lot of time in Dorchester, Fields Corner area.
Okay.
Yeah. I was raised by my grandparents, stuff like that. So real like solid upbringing. Attended a couple private schools, a couple public schools. Had to get my feet wet somewhere, right?
Okay. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So what you was raised by your grandparents or what? How was that?
Yeah, I was raised by my grandparents. It was cool. I mean, older people don't really be on to like too much technology and stuff like that on the change. They were like one way about things. Like, hey, go to school, go do this. If you're not gonna go to school, pick up a trade, so on and so forth. But one thing I found real unique was like my grandmother. She started off doing accounting.
Okay.
So she was doing accounting for a couple businesses. So she always instilled business in me. Like, hey, this is how this does, so on and so forth. Like, eventually down the line when she retired from accounting, she actually ended up managing a daycare.
Okay.
So she would be like, when it was time to do taxes, she'd sit down with me and be like, hey, this is how you do taxes. So I get like a different side of the business. And then with her switching over, she ended up becoming her own entrepreneur by going into the daycare business.
Yeah.
Because she rented out the house.
And that's very lucrative. I mean, my wife has a daycare background, and I've seen the ins and outs from just starting a daycare and then getting grants and all the other things and creating a board and stuff like that. So I know that it's very lucrative. Is she still doing it now?
No, she's retired officially from everything now.
Salute to grandma for
sure.
retiring. So moving forward, you went to some great schools. Even going to public schools, that's gonna be a whole different type of beast. How long you been in Georgia?
I've been in Georgia, I want to say 3 years now.
3 years, okay.
Yeah.
And what made you come down to Georgia?
I actually was in a relationship, and I moved down here with her, and we were trying to figure out the whole Georgia vibe.
Okay.
She got a good job offer. I was doing security at the time, so I was doing like executive protection. So I was feeling like my stuff was gonna carry over down here.
Okay.
So that's how I kind of ended up out here. I did I actually did a couple of gigs while I was out here. I did some stuff for Impact, Wildin' Out. I did like 2 seasons for Wildin' Out. Yeah.
Nice. So you came down here with a reason was doing the security thing. How did you get into barbering?
So transitioning from, because I spent like 7 years in DC before I came out here.
Okay.
So in DC, I was booked like 46 weeks out the year.
Okay.
So I'm talking about, I'm doing embassies, I'm doing foreign ambassadors, stuff like that. When I came out here and I did my first couple gigs with Wildin' Out and Impact, once those finished, there was no more work. So I'm sitting here like, yo, what's going on? Like, I'm used to being booked. I'm used to people calling me. I'm used to having to take a drug test every week because this, and that.
Yeah.
And I come here and it's just slow. So I start asking the people in security, I'm like, what y'all be doing during the slow season? They're like, we do Uber and DoorDash. And I said,
okay.
I said, no. So I can't do that. So I started, it's funny because when I first moved to the DC area, I thought about becoming a barber.
Okay.
And when I came back here and I was like, I got to reinvent my whole income and everything, I was like, let's revisit the barbering thing. I started seeing how much money people were making. I started seeing that the money that I'm used to making, because I was on the thing where I was making $50 an hour to $400 a day for the work I was doing, plus whatever other equipment I had, because I had a truck that I was charging $500 a day for that, and you still had to pay me my rate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I went into that on some like kind of how I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if I'm gonna do this, we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna half step. We're gonna go all the way in there and we're gonna get what's there for you.
Okay. Who was, as far as barbering, who were some influences that made you say that, oh, you know, that could be lucrative, maybe something that I want to be getting into, because everybody have a story of how they got into the barbering thing. Who, what, and where was that?
It was YouTube.
YouTube.
Chris Bossio, because this is when he was still developing a lot of things for 245.
Okay.
This is before the pro mat, before all that. I picked up on the business stuff from him. And I was just like, okay, if I can get in here, get my business by him, Marvy Marv.
Okay.
A couple of these people were like my big influences. Like I remember before I even picked up clippers, I had like 3 months of just watching straight barber videos, how to build clients, how to build clientele. This is before I even went into barber school.
Wow.
Because I was just like, if I'm gonna do this, I want to go in and be 100%. I went and was watching the videos. I contacted like 3 barber schools to figure out which one I wanted to go to, because some of them were like, oh, we do financial aid, some of them do, you know, how it goes. And I watched another person, I can't recall his name, but I think he was out of Tampa, and he said he was making $3,000 a week. And I was like, if I can get in here and put like 2 years in, 3 years, and then see somewhere close to that, I'll be satisfied until something else comes. I ended up getting into barber school. I had to pawn my chain that I had at the time to get into barber school.
I mean, it happens. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Shoot, pawn my chain to get into barber school. And then slowly started just picking up on things. I ended up meeting Tony Banks at my second barber school. I'm not gonna tell you what happened at the first barber school. I'm trying to dodge all that stuff.
Okay, yeah, you know.
But at my second barber school, Shears, I met Tony Banks, and I met Mr. C. And then Tony inspired me because she was doing a lot of design work. And I looked at her work and I was just like, yo, this is dope. And mind you, she was just showing me like on her phone. I didn't even know she had a status. I didn't know any of that. And I was like, yo, I'm a fan of your work. Like, I know you're just not showing me, but I really like your work. I like the stuff that you're doing. And then she was like, I appreciate that. And then she started doing her competitions. She called me, she's like, hey, listen, I think you should do this. And I was like, you think I'm ready for that? She was like, even if you're not ready, just do
get
it
in, yeah,
and see what happens. So
why was Tony at the barber school?
I think Tony was trying to be an instructor at the time.
Okay.
So I think no scam like this.
You know that.
They hit us too. You know what I'm saying? But I think she was saying that she was coming in to try to be an instructor at the time.
Okay.
And that was at Shears and off of Thornton Road.
Okay.
So I think she was coming in just to do that. I also met Mr. C over there. Me and Mr. C got some stuff from his story of being a barber that really kind of resonated with me. So it made me feel like I was in a good space versus my first school.
Nice. And you know what's so funny is that there may be times when people may have to go to multiple schools because the first school that you go to, just like the first shop you go to, it may not be a good fit. You know what I'm saying? I do tell people to do their research, you know, try to do a tour, even if you could do a shadow for a day or two, just to go to the barber school to see if you like the flow. Because a lot of times we'll just go into a school just because that's what we're told. Okay, well, just go there. But it may not be to your liking. You know, the teachers may not be right. The atmosphere may not be right.
The owners might not be right.
All of those things are factors, and then you start spending money, especially if you get the financial aid that you can't transfer over.
And then they don't be caring with the financial aid because they be like, shoot, I already got the money for you.
That's it.
Because the financial aid get paid out straight up.
Yep, that's it.
Money said, whether you finish or not, we got paid.
And you still got to pay it, or they're going to have the collectors calling you.
Exactly.
So I do tell y'all out there, you know, make sure that y'all focusing on doing your due diligence of knowing exactly what you want in a barber school. Look up the reviews online and make sure that you do a tour. Don't just do a regular tour, but do a tour, try to shadow and try to see if it's a good fit for you. Because you don't want to be going from school to school and just racking up these bills.
And talk to the barbers. Talk to the barber students.
Students, yes.
Because like sometimes if you pull one of those barber students to the side and you be like, hey, all this look nice, what's really going on? Look at the one that's quiet in the corner, that's not talking to everybody, that's not all that. He might not be the favorite. See how it is how the non-favorites get treated versus the one that they're trying to broadcast to you. Because,
absolutely.
You know, if I go in here and I'm like, yo, I want somebody to speak highly of me, I'm gonna go find the person that I know is really like locked in with me. Now, if you wanna find that middle person that's like, yeah, they cool, but I figure it out, because some of these schools be having some stuff, man. Like, It'd be a lot of hatred. There'd be a lot of egos, and it's not even from like it's from the owners, teachers. I mean, sometimes teachers.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta just find that place that accepts you.
Now, you know what's so funny is that I asked a lot of barber students that what was their barber school experience, and a lot of people say the same thing. You know, there's always button heads with the instructors, or the instructor with the owners, or the owners is just not locked in when it comes to education and the culture of it. And I really see that you need a barber. Like, shout out to Will Stamps, right? Because I see that Will Stamps is a barber that's still in the barber shop, and he educates his students at Pro Fresh Barber Academy. And I've been to a whole bunch of schools, and his school is one of those schools that I see that he's very adamant about making sure that all the students are getting everything from the new tools to education to trends to that you're going to be a well-rounded barber once you get out of there.
And it's funny. I think I know exactly who you're talking about because I'm still learning names of people. There was something that he taught. If it's the same person I'm thinking about, there's something that was taught to the student that resonated with me before going into the barber game. It was, I think he was, instead of teaching them how to just fade up, he was teaching them to fade in an X pattern.
Okay.
And the X pattern made sense to me because you make sure that you cut the hair in the different angles. Because sometimes you don't get somebody whose hair goes straight down. I've gotten people where their whole head is in a shape of like a tornado or a spiral. And I know I can't just keep going straight up with that. I got to cut it like this. That fade got to go in this way instead of going straight up.
Absolutely.
So like that, when I seen that, and I was like, oh, okay, there's a gem.
Yep.
That's the gem that I was missing. And I do that with a lot of videos I was watching before I started putting the clippers to heads. I'll go back and watch those same videos and be like, these are the gems that I missed. I might have watched it 100 times, but now I come back now I'm doing my own experiences. I'm like, that's what I need to see.
Absolutely. And it's good that, you know, you're getting these gems from somebody else at a different school, but they dropping this content online, not just for their students, but for the masses. And they're dropping informative information that is true to what we really need to be hearing. Like they talking about this whole thing with the memberships, right? And that's a real conversation that's going on now. And a whole bunch of barbers is putting up these clips. You know, they got Cole the Barber's putting it up. It's Marvy Mar putting it up. Ivan Zook been chiming in, and all of these videos just talk about how people are just trying to scam off these different ways because they're slow in the shop. That they're just trying to get money. So that's the conversation now. But again, you have people that's in tune with what's going on, and the conversations is being built and it's continuing, and that's what we need. We need the pillars of the industry that's going to come together to have these conversations, because the barber students hear that and they have an understanding of the do's and don'ts. Yeah. But when I first started getting into barbering, YouTube was new. You know, YouTube came out I think in 2010. I started in the shop in 2011. I was buying DVDs. That was the only way that
barber DVDs?
They had barber DVDs. The first barber DVD I bought was Terah Da Barber, How to Become a Barber.com. Alex Campbell, who's an OG in Georgia, he was making DVDs. There was a few people, but that's the only way that you would know how to really do these designs, how to do fades, how to do lines, was to get the DVDs. Because the dudes in the shop wasn't putting you on like Tony, telling you get right, how to blend, how to do a line. Nah, you come into the barber shop and you just gonna be another competition to them. Now they're looking at you like you taking money out of their pocket because you there to take whatever walk in. And so the game wasn't told at all. You had to figure it out.
I definitely get that. I don't really like that mentality with things. The whole gatekeeping situation. I feel like that's a play on the person and their personality.
Absolutely.
Because like I know the shop, one of my first shop that I was at, because I actually jumped into a shop while I was still in barber school. Because my goal first coming in was I'm gonna get halfway decent. I'm gonna jump into a shop, finish paying off school tuition with the money I'm making from the shop, and make it make sense that way. So I did exactly that. But I got into that shop and it was like I started at the bottom, being probably the worst barber in the shop, and then I slowly progressed myself the whole way through to become the best barber in that shop. But I never not taught people what I was learning as I moved along.
Absolutely.
Because, okay, I can give you the formula on how to become a millionaire. I can give you the formula on how to be the best at whatever you want to be based on my experiences. But 80% of people are not going to use it because they're going to find a way to say that it's too hard for themselves. They're going to make up the excuses, and it's going to get left wayside.
Absolutely.
And then from there, I know if I've given you the tools or the knowledge and stuff like that, that you're capable of doing it, but you've chosen not to. And that lets me know how to conduct myself with you. If I start making bigger plans and stuff like that, am I going to come to you and be like, yo, I've given him advice and I've seen him work on the things that me and him talked about that he says that he wants to be better at, or are you just talking out your mouth?
Absolutely.
And that's where the partnership, like, shoot, with Tony, I listen to everything she said. You know, within reason.
Yeah.
But I listen to what she says, and I'll be like, all right, cool. Next time I do this, I'm going to apply it. And it works. And that way she knows, like, I'm listening to you. Like, I hear what you're saying. I might not get it right here, right now, but give me some time to ponder on it. Give me some time to think about it. That way, anytime she feel like she's giving me advice or she's trying to point me in the right direction, she don't feel like I'm just la 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 la. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, oh, she just talking.
But you have to be open to be coachable, right?
Yeah,
like,
for
like I was a shop manager for a couple years at my old shop, and the dynamic of my old shop was that we was getting all the barber students because my shop was affiliated with Scales Barber Academy in McDonough, Georgia.
Okay.
So we would take the barber students that they felt was decent enough to come in, because you don't get that much repetition of cutting when you in barber school. So they was bringing those students in where they would get more of their time clocked, and they would be able to get their cuts in. But a lot of them wasn't receptive to being open to being coached. And they was never, like, I would try to critique them and try to help them, right? And I know how to do it in a respectful way. I'm not, you know, but some people, I'm a tactile learner, so you got to know different learning tactics, right? And different learning skills. Me, I'm the type of person that I really can't explain to you step by step. I can tell you once, but I need to show you. And with me not being able to show you with just taking your clippers and showing you, sometimes people may not understand it. So first I'm trying to explain to you, you know, you're going to start with your half, then you're going to hit with your one, you hit with your 1.5, and work with those each click of your clippers till you're comfortable with giving yourself enough real estate where you can be able to do a gradual blend. I can explain that to you, but you may not understand what I'm saying. You may not know the vernacular, right? So now I need to show you. So there was one incident where I had asked one of the students that was there, you know, because they was cutting for like an hour. They got one clipper, one trimmer, cutting for an hour. You know, them judges on fire. And they were doing a fade. And I'm like, you know, I explain to them, and then I would go back and do it. I'm doing it, but I'm looking at the same time. And they just wasn't getting it. And I'm like, let me go over there and help. So I said, you know what, do you mind if I see your clippers? I grabbed the clippers. I'm trying to show them the steps, and they got mad. Now, they're not even paying attention to what I'm saying. Yeah, they just know the fact that you got my clippers in your hand. Like if they was blessed by a Buddha or somebody, you know what I'm saying? So once I was trying to explain, and then I see that they wasn't even open to what I was saying to them, I would say, all right, do you get it? It was like, yeah. And then they told me, you know, but next time just don't touch my clippers. And that was the last time that I ever instructed that person. And they're not even there no more. You know, they doing something else.
And that's an ego thing, you know? Because, like, all right, you guys said you guys were picking out the students. You guys were picking out students from the school, right? But you were picking out what, the best students?
No, well, I wasn't picking the students. Okay. It was the school owner would just pick whoever they seemed fit that wanted to get into the shop right now. Because, you know, some people would be like apprehensive to just jump into the shop. They want to just focus on school. But some of them was like, you know what, I'll give it a shot. And you want to make money. You don't want to not be able to make money, right? So
yeah, for sure. You
learning something, you may be so eager to do it, and then you're like, well, I can make money by doing it also. And that's what you want to do eventually anyway. So you're already getting that crash course. So they would just jump into it. Some of them were decent. Some of them were bad. And I was saying, well, the representation of the shop, when you go into a professional setting, you thinking that you're going to get serviced by a professional. You're not thinking that you're going to get serviced by a person that don't know what they're doing, or a barber student. And it was never told. There's not no signs around like this place is operated by professionals and students. It's just like you just there. So that was an issue that I had, and I would always explain it, and I would always tell the owners that. And I was like, you know, we need to hand select them. I need to see what they're capable of doing.
For sure.
and that wasn't happening.
And,
So
and it's not even seeing what they're doing. It's more vetting the personalities because
that too.
I asked Tony a question one time, you know, just because me and her just be shooting stuff back and forth with each other, just you know, I was like, would you rather deal with a barber with the talent and a bad attitude, or would you rather deal with a barber that's horrible at cutting hair but has a good attitude? I mean, and it's like I said, it's an ego thing. Like, if you got a good attitude, we can bring your skills up. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But the work that it's gonna take to take somebody with a high ego and try to bring them back down to earth is gonna be a lot more draining. Yes, they got the skill, but it's gonna be tiresome. There's gonna be too many arguments. There's gonna be too many things. After a while, you can be like, is this worth it? I'd rather watch the progress of the person that's not that good at cutting hair.
Yep.
And say, all right, yo, we're getting you there. We're getting you there, because they should remain somewhat humble in a sense. I know arrogance and confidence get mixed up a lot. I'm a Leo, so I've definitely heard that a lot.
Yeah.
But you can work on those. You know, I'd rather work with that. I'd rather work with your skill set than deal with your ego and you feeling like you're better than me because, you know, you got put in certain situations, or I put you in, or whoever helped you put you in certain situations. Like,
yep. How is it now, right? So you're out of the school setting and you're in a shop. How was it coming to this shop? And is this not your first shop?
no, it's my second shop.
Second shop. How was your experience in your first shop?
It was great at first, you know, because I was just grateful to be in the shop, you know, because, you know, you go through your 1,500 hours at school, you're like, word, I'm finally here, I finally made it, let me start making some money, so on and so forth. But I think at my first shop, after like a couple months, let's say like my first 6 months, I felt like I hit a ceiling.
Okay, first 6 months. Okay.
Yeah, I felt like I hit a ceiling.
Like, was there no direction there for you? There was nobody guiding you? You just felt like you were just stuck?
How do I say this? So I gotta be political because you know what I'm saying. Oh man,
Got to keep it 100, bro.
I know.
You ain't got to say too much, but just don't say too little.
There's some people who come out of barber school that just barely may have passed the state board, or let me stop that. That probably just barely know how to cut. Like, they're good enough to pass state board, but they don't know how to cut. And sometimes they get opportunities that provide for them to get a shop within the first couple months. And
That's a fact. Yeah.
but they don't know what's going on.
What my shop owner was still in school when he bought my shop. First time owning a shop, but he has good leadership qualities, but doesn't know the full structure of what owning a barbershop consists of. It's you got to be there.
Yeah, because I kind of ended up coming into the shop on some like, hey, we need advertisement, we need this, we need that. We need to make this more of a creative space for the barber, so that the barber wants to be here, and then let the barbers that you chose attract the clients that you want inside the chair. Like,
Absolutely.
I challenged my my owners, not because of defiance, but for better improvement. And I'd go to them and I'd be like, hey, respectfully, you guys are trying to talk to us about raising booth rent, but who in here is booked? You guys want to charge all this money for booth rent. You guys want, because I think they started us off at like $150, then it went to $200 after the first month.
Starting off. Crazy.
And I just looked at them and I'm like, mind you, they also was they were trying to be like a commission-based style shop, but booth rent.
That don't work either.
And I kept trying to I told them so much stuff, because I paid for that Bossio course, that $100 course. I learned a lot, and a lot of it was already stuff that I was already feeling. I tried to go to them and I said, yo, I'll continue to pay the $100. If y'all just give me $20 to go towards it every month, I'll give y'all the information in here. And they told me no. They was like, nah, that's you.
Small-minded people.
You know what I'm saying? So I started then as time went on, I started grabbing clientele from the different barbers that was in the shop, because they watching me get chopped. They watch me chop everybody, and they like, oh, yo, he's fired. So it's like, once some of the barbers didn't have good communication with their clients. So like, I'm watching their clients come in, because I'm the only barber that's in there. open to close, open to close. I got people that drove by and said, "Hey, I seen you in here at 2 o'clock in the morning, just sitting in here. I'm gonna go get a haircut from him."
Absolutely.
And then other people's clients is always watching.
Of course.
So
Soon as a barber gives a client an opportunity to go to somebody else, and that barber do what they do best, that client is gone. That's why you don't give your client an opportunity.
I went from the smallest clientele in that shop to the biggest clientele in that shop, building clientele from people walking in, and then from the barbers around me, them messing up with their clients.
Thank you to all them barbers out there.
For sure. I'm gonna cut them and I'm gonna treat them right.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, do you feel some kind of way about that? Do you feel like you did them wrong?
I mean, I kind of just no. I don't feel like I did.
Okay, because I don't want you to feel that way.
This is where we get back to the gatekeeping stuff. Because I communicate with my clients, and I'll teach the next barber how to communicate with their clients. If you choose not to do that, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? Because let's say I want to go on vacation in 2 weeks, right? I'll start sending out messages right now to my clients. Hey, this date, this date, this date, I'm gonna be gone. Book your appointments accordingly.
In advance,
so on and so forth. Then the week of, I'm gonna send out another message to all my clients, because the software that I use, I can send out mass text messages to everybody. I'm gonna send out another reminder. I do this for holidays. Hey, this holiday's coming up, school's coming up. My appointments are gonna be first priority, so make sure you get your bookings in now. If I gotta leave, or I got a family emergency, something like that, or I know I have something that's coming up that just popped up within the week. Hey, on Thursday, Friday, I'm gonna be leaving the shop early.
Who taught you that though? Because a lot of barbers don't have those good communication skills.
It's a little bit of from being in that security field.
Okay.
Because like when you're dealing with foreign ambassadors and stuff, there's very low tolerance for BS. Like you gotta communicate. Hey, something just came up. I gotta run over here. I gotta do this. I need you to fill in somebody else for me. Like it's a lot of stuff, because that's how you determine whether you're getting a call back or if they're gonna be like, hey, you're just too much to deal with. We can't do nothing. So just that organization of let me talk to you, let me tell you. I mean, you have relationships with these people anyway. They trust you every 2 weeks to cut their hair. You can't tell them, hey, I'm going on vacation.
You should be able to. You should have that rapport.
Because regardless of anything, what's going to happen? If they don't come to the barber that's in your shop, they're going to go to somebody else and they're going to get a haircut. And then they're going to remember, hey, you did me wrong.
Yep.
Because I needed a haircut and it was important to me. You couldn't communicate with me. Why is the only time I can get in contact with you is when I come into your shop and I'm sitting right in front of you. Other than that, I want to call and book 2 weeks ahead or a week ahead. I can't get in contact with you. It's not fair.
So coming from that first barber shop, what made you leave?
I feel like I outgrew that space.
Okay. So why you didn't go from a barber shop to a suite then? Because most people say
that I was on my way to do that.
Okay.
I was on my way to a suite. My fear was I was so new into the game that I felt like I still needed walk-in traffic to build my clientele. So I kind of like coasted at that shop until I was like, okay, maybe I got enough clients now where I can leave and go somewhere else.
Okay.
And I mean, I had gotten to a good point. I was making like, what, $500 a week before booth rent? After booth rent. $500 a week after booth rent. I was chilling. And that was the first time I had really started to see the real consistent money coming in. And I was like, all right, I'm at a good space right now. I can start making some moves. I can get back into my investments and stuff like that.
Very well.
But once again, I'm still in a space where I feel like I outgrew. I got to the point where I had the biggest clientele. I was one of the best barbers other than my other boy, Fresh, at the time. I still gonna give him his flowers because he looked out for me during barber school.
Okay, shout out to Fresh.
You know what I'm saying? But I was still one of the top barbers where it started to become a thing where all the other barbers that had been in the game longer than me are coming to me to ask me for advice. And I was like, well, shoot, I'm just teaching y'all basic stuff on fades. I'm still trying to learn how to do color. And when I go and do color, I can't come to any of y'all in here and say, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? And I was just like, I'm not gaining anything anymore. It's like if you're playing basketball and I'm supposed to be at like a college level, but I'm playing a bunch of middle schoolers. Am I getting any better?
Nope.
Or am I just making them get better because they're playing against me? So I was like, I gotta get out of here. Then Tony had given me a call. Actually, before I even get into that, I had called Tony and Mr. C like a month before Tony called me to come to the shop. And I was like, hey, I'm in a weird spot. I feel like the shop is trying to get everybody to charge $50 for haircuts. But when I dropped my price down to $35, I started seeing my clients more consistently. They're actually booking every 2 weeks. I'm seeing more money. People are staying along, and I learned that from the Bossio course. Because when I first came into that shop, they was trying to get me charged $50 out the gate, and I'm like, I can't even get a ball line out of a ball fade, but y'all want me to charge people $50? You basically set me up to get cussed out. Yeah, you set me up to get cussed out. But then you still want your $200 every week.
They booth room was $200, and you was only there for a couple months. That's madness.
And they had no walk-in traffic. I done sat there and set up like whole events. Like, hey, let's get back to the community. Let's talk to the community. Let's I got all the barbers to agree we was gonna put some money down or food stamps or whatever to get hot dogs, burgers. I had got a DJ who said they was gonna bring their own speakers and they wasn't gonna charge us nothing. We was gonna do all this. I went to the owner. I said, all I need from y'all is $100 so I can get a flyer made and flyers printed. And they told me no. And I'm just like, at this point, what else can I do here?
What you could do is pack up and go.
Exactly.
Because you know what's so funny was you saying that you was so adamant about making the place grow for everybody. You was a team player, right? There was a time in my old shop, my shop back in New York, where the shop was just ran down. You know, the owner was just doing his best, but he was never good when investing into the shop. So I'm like, yo, I came up with a brilliant idea. Let's do a 24-hour cut-a-thon. You know, we had 5 barbers in there, but we're gonna need like 2 more barbers. I already reached out to 2 barbers that would come to the shop and just chill all the time. I said, yo, we need 7 barbers. I calculated how much it's gonna take. It's gonna take us $10,000 to get new chairs, new stations, paint on the wall. Everybody get ring lights. Right? I said, yo, we could make $10,000, 24 hours. And I got the barbers that's willing to do it. The barbers that's in the shop was like, nah, I ain't doing that. I said, yeah, we could charge $50 a head. This is when haircuts in New York was $30. I said we could do $50 a head, do a cut-a-thon, and we're gonna have a female that's gonna be in here doing the massages or whatever. And they laughed at me and was like, nah. And like 3-4 years continued, shop still ran down until the pandemic was when, because the shop was closed, that's when the shop owner painted the walls and sanded the floors. But it still looked the same now, even though, you know what I'm saying? So when I came down to Georgia, the reason why I got into the shop that I was at was it had everything I wanted. Bright lights, bright walls, a nice accent wall, shampoo bowls, everything that I couldn't get in my old shop. So when I went there, because when I moved down to Georgia, I wasn't going to cut hair no more. I was only going to work at the airport, which I've been doing for 10 years. And I said I wanted to create a whole new me. I was so burned out with cutting in New York, having to always be somewhere and catering to somebody, that I wanted to just focus on being at Delta and doing real estate. But you got that muscle memory that you just used to doing something. So I was doing Delta only and just go home, and I'm like, I'm a mad boy now. Like, I get up at work, I'm sitting around, I'm just eating and getting fat, and I'm like, yo, hold up. I said, I could be making some money out here. So I went to get gas one day, seen the shop, got a cut from the owner, and like I left and I was thinking about it. I was like, yo, the vibe in there was fire, like my old shop, but better. So then I like a month passed by, I called him like, yo, bro, you still got a chair? He was like, yeah. My first week in that shop, he sold it. So I really built that one interaction with him. I was sold on him and what he had going on. And he said, the first week I came in, he was like, yo, starting next week Friday, because we had a meeting. I was in that week. The next week he had called a shop meeting. We're going to go to the pizza spot, sit down and eat. He was like, yo, moving forward, them two going to be the owners. You could pay this week booth rent to them. And I'm like, I don't know if they're going to go up on the price, nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but everything worked out till they sold it again. It's just when you don't have the passion for it, and when you don't know the business portion of it, it's not for everybody. So it's one owner I met the first week. Second owner, he was there there was 2 owners that separated. Then that owner that stayed, kept it for a year. Then he was frustrated because people dipping out on the booth rent, packing their stuff while he not there, not paying their rent. He was frustrated, said, I'm done. Then they spoke to somebody in the barber school, was like, yo, anybody interested in buying the shop? Pennies. He came to me first, but I was frustrated with the barbers in there. I was like, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I could have easily got it. It was dirt cheap.
And then that's a whole other dynamic. Like you got to go from being friends with people and stuff like that to now like
I wasn't friends with nobody.
You know what I mean? Though.
I was just there. I was just coexisting with people. That's why I'm in the shop in the suite now.
Yeah, sweet now.
Yeah.
How you like that?
I love the suite, but you see how I done popped up in here because I got to be around like-minded barbers, right? I love the suites. Like I've always wanted a suite. First time I got introduced to a suite was in 2011 when I went to Bronner Brothers in Maryland, and we met this brother by the name of Will, and he had a luxury salon suite inside of a nice complex. So I was like, what the hell is, like, coming from the barbershop culture, I was like, what is this? Private, you got your own shampoo bowl, your own chair, your own space, and it was a whole bunch of professionals in there, the kiosks and everything. So that was 2011. So I always had that notion, can I do that in New York? And I said, barbers not want to leave a shop and rent a space like that. It took 10 years for barbers in New York for somebody in New York to come up with that plan. And now they have it.
So you think that happened around COVID where people start understanding the suites?
I think COVID helped people know that they don't need to be there. They don't need to be in that environment. Because you went from cutting in the shop to cutting in your crib to doing mobile cuts to just make the money. And that, just like a lot of relationships split during COVID. Like you really figured it out. Like I don't need to be with this person. Like this is not the person who I really want to be with. This shop is really not where I want to be. Oh, I got clients that's paying me now more because the price hike went up because of COVID, right? We was charging $25, $35 for haircuts. Now it was $50 to $100. Now you ain't going back down when things get back to normal. Now the set price was $40, $50. So now I was like, all right, well, I don't need to. I could get a truck, I could get a Sprinter van, or I could get one of them old school buses and do mobile. So that's why the mobile thing is big now. But before it was a couple barbers here and there that was mobile. Now you got barbers that doing a lot of house calls, charging $250, $300. So now you got the mobile barber that has a whole truck or something, and then you got the suites. You got people that say, yo, I don't want to be in a barber shop no more. The suites being built everywhere now, and they could just go there and have their own sanctuary where they could just have a peace of mind. And that's where I'm at. Now, I miss the bantering, I miss the going back and forth, I miss the conversations. And when I find a barber shop like Apex where I could come and just chop it up with barbers that's like-minded, like me, that's getting to the money, that cut amazing, that go to the hair shows and be competing, that's why I need to be around. And there's not that many barbers out there. Like I go to these different barber shops, a lot of these barbers don't even know about barber battles. They would never leave the barber shop and go to a hair show. They just stuck behind the chair. They don't know that there's other ways to get the money.
And see that plays into, like I said, why I left as well. Because I'm the one I'm going to a shop where I don't feel appreciative, and I done got a whole custom jersey made that say the name of the shop, with my name on it. I'm going out to the barber battles. I'm shouting them out. They're not even showing up to watch me compete. They're not showing up for none of that. And I'm just like, I don't need to be here.
Nope.
Because y'all don't even know what's going on. Shoot, I realized from talking to, like, once me and Tony, like, really got locked in, and I was able to be, like, around her, she started talking to me about stuff, and I'd be like, I don't know who this is. I don't know what that is. I don't know nothing about that. And she was like, you're a barber and you don't know this? And then I started to realize what I was like, and I'm like, okay, now I need to start figuring out who these people are. Now, I knew about a couple of different battles other than Tony's, but Tony's battles was the first battles I got introduced to. And I had, from the first school I was at, I had heard of barber battles, but I didn't really know what was going on with it. I just thought, okay, it's just something that they just do in the barber shops. And it's just a little fun thing. But then, like, once I started doing my research, I was like, oh, nah, this is big. Like, the Connecticut show popped up first. Just like I started seeing, like, there's a lot of money in this. It looked like because I got aunts and stuff who were in hair from when I was younger. It looked like the Bonner Brothers stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is like the Bonner Brothers version of barbering.
Yep.
Okay, I can get with this.
Yep.
So I started having that. I was already doing little designs and stuff for like fun. Because I used to do graffiti and stuff when I was younger.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna get more information about this man because I got a big question to ask. I'm just waiting. I'm just letting the layers build.
Yeah, I used to do graffiti and stuff when I was younger. So like the drawing and the hair and stuff was kind of cool to me. But see, I'll be overthinking. I'll try to really sit there and dissect the whole thing, and sometimes make it more complicated than what it is. But I started liking the design work and stuff, and then once I started seeing it like on a bigger scale, like some of the Hispanic barbers, I started seeing the color. I started seeing the designs matching with the color. I didn't see the stuff in the beards, and I was like, I want to do that. So when she started calling me, I'm like, well, I know I'm not that good yet, but I'll start here. Then I went to her first competition. I was like, oh shit, I done ran into what I said I didn't want to be in. But it's a, you don't want to ever just jump out into the water. You know what I'm saying? You wanna jump out and you wanna test it out. Like I knew I was going to that competition. I knew I wasn't gonna win. I was like, but to be in the room, to see what it's like I felt like after that first competition, I had more confidence in my haircuts because when you got close to 100 people watching you cut hair, it's different than you just cutting in the barbershop.
Absolutely.
Or one person watching you.
Everybody critiquing everything you do.
Shoot. Then even when you're in barber school, you know, when the teacher walk by, you be like all stiff and stuff. Shoot, when you got 100 people watching, there's no time to be stiff. Like you gotta get that stuff done. You gotta know. You gotta really rely on your muscle memory. Like I felt like after that competition, I got faster at cutting.
Okay.
I felt like I became a little bit more confident. Even though I didn't really like my end result, I was able to go back and look at it to be able to critique it. Then I skipped out on the next two because I was like, I really need to. Next time I come in, I need to come correct.
That's what's up, though, bro. So you know what's so funny is that you saying that you used to draw, you used to do the graffiti. You know, you was so adamant about getting better by learning from other people, and now you have somebody like Tony that's your mentor. And when I first met you, I said, man, you so nice at what you do. How long you been cutting? Because that's the question I ask everybody. How long you been cutting? Because you fire. And I don't tell a lot of I do tell barbers. I do tell a lot of barbers that they fire, right? But a lot of times people are not receptive to it. But I say, yo, bro, you fire. Like, how long you been cutting? You told me 2 years.
Yeah.
And I told myself, ain't no way. I said, he lying. He lying. I gotta do my research. And he was like, yo, bro, just check out my history posts, like my first couple posts. I said, all right, well, I can check it out. But I didn't do a deep dive like how you showed me. How is it that you've only been cutting hair for 2 years and you that nice?
Hard work, dedication, and advisor. Somebody advising me.
Listen, that's cool. That's all right. That's a modest, right?
Okay.
But there's something about you, bro, that's special. Like the first time I met you, I said that you give me the aura of Kenny Duncan. I don't know if you did your research on who he was.
I figured out who Kenny Duncan was real quick. Like, I was like, who's Kenny Duncan?
Like your aura, like just the way you present yourself, your mannerisms, everything, and then the way that you are so passionate about the barber game, and you want to see there's characteristics of people that you could tell who gonna have longevity. People that one is like when I was talking to Justin. Justin talk about he do things just because you got to treat it like it's yours, right?
Yeah.
Like I've always been the type of person that I treat a barbershop like it's mine. I'm a clean the windows. I clean everybody mirrors. I sweep. I mop. I do that, and nobody had to ask me because it's just I wanted to look comfortable for me, comfortable for me, and comfortable for my client. And you don't get those characteristics in every barber. A person that's so adamant about not just them winning, but people around them winning. You talk about you bought jerseys with the shop name on it, and you repping it. Like sometimes it's hard to come together with 6-7 barbers in your shop to say, yo, let's all buy barber jackets that got the logo on it. People like, I ain't paying that. Like the shop owner got to do that. So when I spoke to you and I said, how long you been cutting, and then us having this conversation now, it just explains to me. It gives me a little bit more insight of who you are, the cloth that you cut from, and the way you carry yourself. And that's because you already have your boss-like qualities. You know exactly what you want. you know how you're going to get there, and you know the people that you need to be around to get to where you want to go.
For sure.
A lot of barbers is not going to hair show. They don't know that you can create a product line and you can make millions of it. Chris Basio is an OG in the game. We was on the same conference call back in 2011 with one of my OGs and a lot of barbers out there, OGs, Al Millions. We did conference calls every Thursday. This is before, like again, the game wasn't told, right? So we had barbers that came together from all these different states to be on this call for 2 hours, talking about what they don't like about the industry, what they want to see in the industry, how can we get better in the industry. And now all of the people from It's Marvy Marv to Chris Basio to 360 Jeezy, all of these people was on this call. And when I see how everybody moving now, it's because we was all in tune. We knew from going to the hair shows, we knew exactly what we didn't want, what we didn't like. And now that you've been implemented into it, like you just been dropped as a seed to grow.
Yeah.
And I'm just I can't wait to see what your 5-year stretch is going to look like.
Shoot, I want to see what my 5 years gonna look like. I feel like I got a lot of things I can do, different things, different avenues to get put in, a lot of opportunities through myself and through Tony and other people. Like I try not to think too much about it because I don't want to overwhelm myself before we get there. Yeah. So I'll be trying to just let it just roll as it comes. But
you do know that with social media, everything is rapid now. Like it's micro, right? It's like we live in this microwave society where everything is fast paced. Like again, barbers is coming out of barber school. They're already nice because they got everything that they need on social media to just see and learn from. That a barber that it may take them 3 years to get to that point. I know barbers that didn't know the whole pencil trick, right? Because one of my OGs in my shop, he was so adamant about getting the line super crispy. He cut your hair for 2 hours, but that blend is tight and that line is there. But you're gonna be the customer's asses is numb, bro. They in the chair 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
But then he figured, he said, "Yo, these lines not really that sharp." Like I'm like, no, bro. Is a dye they using? Is a pencil? First they were using an outline of pencil. Then there's barbers that started to make like the Barber Magic pencil, Black Dynamite. He created one of the first barber pencils, right? And then now we have that. But before it was the real ash line from prepping the skin and hitting it with the trimmer. Then it was like, well, we ain't trying to go that far. We just want to give it the illusion. Then that's when the pencil came into play. Then it's the black dye coming into play.
There's a lot of people that don't even know how to use those things correctly. Because like, all right, there's this thing where like you'll see people do stuff, and you know that you're supposed to do it, but you don't necessarily understand what you're doing. Because I feel like with my first year or year and a half in the barbering, because I was groomed by my first school, it was no enhancements, no pencils, no nothing. Learn how to get this line, learn how to get this fade, learn how to do this. It was all natural cuts.
As it should be.
As it should be. You know, but when you're in school, you kind of like, nah, I'm seeing this, and this. Like, I'm trying to So I didn't have the handicap of I could spray this on here and clean this up. I could spray that there and clean that up. So I had gotten down like basic haircuts, basic fades, stuff like that. So by the time I came in to do enhancements, I was doing exactly what's supposed to be, enhancing the cut instead of making my cut.
That's a gym, guys.
You know what I'm saying? I'm enhancing my cut because I got people now. I be looking at haircuts online and I be like, whoo! I be like, shoot, he gonna go outside, he gonna wipe his forehead like this all the time, and he out the game. He gonna have to either come right back and he gonna be mad.
What's the dude? I think it's one of those social media guys, but he bald, but he get everything sprayed black, and it's always something that occurs where somebody touch it and his joint be gone. Those is what's going on out there. Customers is really leaving the chair, putting a hat on, line is gone.
And then they thought they was crafty because they like, oh, I'm gonna put the holding spray on it. And I'm like, no.
No.
You got even bigger mess because now it's gonna look blotchy when it comes
on. It's a fact. So, but I did ask you, I said, how did you get so nice in 2 years? And you gave me a little, but how did you really get nice in 2 years?
Honestly, I'm a person that like I visually need to like see things. So YouTube helped me, like it's like levels. So like YouTube helped me because I didn't have a barber in my shop that I can go to and ask them, how do you do this? Then it became a lot of like just experimenting with the hair as I'm cutting it. It wasn't until I got at this shop and when I was able to get under Tony that I'm like, all right, cool. I've got kind of what I've been getting from YouTube, but I have that extra point of, all right, I have a specific question. This is how I want to ask my question. Because on YouTube, I got to go in the comments. I got to wait for you to get back to me whenever that is, 3 months later. But I can ask you right here, live and direct. Okay, when the hair clump up like this in this area, even though I know how am I supposed to get it thinner, oh, use this, use that, and I'll be able to see it in real time. And then if you show it to me like once or twice, I can get it down. So she'll show me something, and then I'll feel like I've got all the characteristics to put together a good quality haircut. And then I call one of my boys that I've been cutting since I first started, and I'll be like, hey, I'm about to cut you. This cut gonna take 2 hours, but I'm trying a bunch of new stuff. It's free for you. Just let me do what I gotta do.
That's what's up.
And I'll go in there and I'll do it that one time, and once I get that down, I'm like, all right, cool, I got it.
So you have your systems of operation of how you're going to approach your haircuts.
Because I'll do that before I even start offering that service to the community.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
And that way I know I've got time to mess up on you and it not piss off one of my clients and possibly lose them to another barber. But I've got time to mess up on you, make my mistakes. I've got time to do the extra stuff that I might not feel like you ever feel like sometimes when you're cutting, you're doing a little bit too much? And you feel like, oh, this is taking too long.
Yep.
I got to hurry to get this person out the chair. Like, you feel rushed.
Yep.
And sometimes, like, when you're trying new things or you try to put new things on people, you need to have that sit-down time to fully process everything. Like, all right, cool. What I just started doing is I just started doing the Beijing. Like, the full Beijing on the head, Beijing
Where it got to sit.
Beijing lineup, Beijing everything. But I'm trying to get it so it looks natural.
Okay.
So I called him and I'm like, yo, I'm about to put this stuff on you, but I need to make sure that it looks natural. So I'm playing with time. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm not gonna let it sit on you for 5-10 minutes. I'm not gonna let it sit on you for 20 minutes. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna wipe it off in a couple minutes. And then I get a crisp line. It's dark. The hair's a little bit darker, fanning in for that hair, for that fade, and it looked flawless. You know.
Okay.
I even play with I seen from doing research, the Hispanics, they switching over to I call it the liquid liner.
The foundation.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
You know, playing around with that, you know, there's so many different things, and like I said, like I'm now that I've learned these different ways to cut hair, I've applied them to different tiers. So I've got my signature haircut. You know what I'm saying? My signature haircut is gonna be your regular spray-on enhancements. Mind you, I don't try to do no enhancements that's gonna come out your hair the next day. If I try a new product on a client, that I will literally call them 2 days later. How's your lineup holding up? Oh, it's holding up better than the other stuff you using. Okay, cool. Then I'll be like, I'm gonna try something else when you come in. I'll do another product. How's this one holding up? Yo, this one's really holding up. I still got my lineup in my head. And now that helps me gate which products I'm gonna use, which ones I'm gonna keep around. Because if I can guarantee you that you got at least a week and a half on your haircut, I feel good.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that's worth what I'm making you pay for it. You know, so those different things. When I put that dye on you, I know that's gonna last you about 2 weeks. You know, so that's where these different price points come in, and I try to make it look as natural as possible. I got people who come in and they got light spots in their front. I put that on there. That front line is there still right now. And they just like, yo, I can't believe you did that. But it's just like, you know, you got to build something at different price points so that people can know what's going on. Because I can go do the liquid foundation and the dye on everybody, but I'm gonna be telling everybody, hey, this is gonna be $150.
Gonna cost you, baby.
Yeah, you want premium look? I can give you premium look, but it's gonna be at a price. It's gonna be at this price, and then not everybody's not gonna want that. So I'll give you a 3-tier. You can get the signature package for $50. That comes with my spray on enhancements. It's still gonna last you about a week and a half. About a week with just the enhancement part, but the cut is gonna be what it's supposed to be. Then I got the next one where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give you the black dye, but that's gonna be black dye with the razor. and that's gonna last you around the same way. It's gonna be a little longer because you got the black dye in there, but then now I got black dye foundation.
What's that price point?
We starting at 150.
So you go from 50 to 150.
Yep.
There's no in between?
90.
90. And what consists of 90?
90 is the basic razor, haircut, and then you get the black dye.
And that's the stuff that you can shampoo.
Yeah.
Because
that foundation
different
another,
tiers.
That foundation's another game though.
Yeah, because it's waterproof, so that line gonna be there. Yeah, we're gonna do a quick break and we're gonna drop our episode sponsor, and we're gonna be right back. This week's sponsor is My Supply Guy ATL. They are Atlanta's premium barber supplier, specializing in clipper repair, shear sharpening, and they have all the latest tools. Make sure you tell them that Terah Da Barber and Razor Sharp podcast sent you. So we back. Y'all already checked it out, and we back with that boy that's spitting them gems here today at Apex. So around this time, I like to do what I call barber questions.
Okay.
It's 5 rapid questions that I ask every barber. Sometimes they get tripped up, and sometimes they don't. Right. So the first question I have for you is, what do you like and dislike about the barber industry right now?
All right, so there's this thing that's going on right now that I've been noticing. There's like I want to call it a mini war, but I don't want to call it a war. But it's the pissed off barber.
Okay.
The pissed off barber has this thing right now where I feel it's real negative. He's coming at a lot of different people in the industry. I've seen him come at Vic Blends. I've seen
Chris
him come
Basio.
at Chris Basio. There's another dude that I be watching that Professor Miracle Wrist, yo.
That's the black dude that got the tattoo head.
The black dude with the tattoos
Yeah.
and free hand and everything.
Yeah.
That was dope to me when I first seen that. I was like, yo, this. But anyways, it's like he just calling out all these people. I feel like that's one of those like negative things that he's just trying to do to get publicity and so on and so forth. Because he'll go up there and be like, oh, they're overcharging you for clippers and blah blah blah. But then I go on your site and you got the same stuff going on.
Yeah, he started with taking clones. He's taking the 50 Cent approach. He said it himself. He's taking the 50 Cent approach and being a villain. And no matter if he like what you got going on, he gonna dish you because there's no such thing as bad publicity. So he's coming at Chris Basio, which is one of my guys. He came at and then that had me a little, because I'm like Tug, because I like the clippers that he make, but you coming at my boy.
Exactly. And see, I feel like even though that's your approach on things, it's like we still need to get into this community. All right, so the barber industry, I feel like it's been around so long, but it's been the least to evolve. You know what I'm saying? That's why we're getting the huge price hikes now. We're getting people who are like, okay, we can do content creation with this. Really, a lot of stuff that we're learning, the barber pencils and all that stuff, that really comes from another part of the beauty industry. That comes from makeup. And we're now integrating these things in. All these different systems and stuff are coming from that. And I feel like with you putting this distraction in front of people, it's making the people that are trying to make real changes in this community, it's making them more focused on how do we clean this up? Because I've seen them try to make friends with him. I've seen them try to reach out to him and be like, hey man, we don't need to be doing this. We really need to be trying to bring our platforms together. And I feel like that's what this industry needs right now. Because we've already been in this thing where people feel like they need to gatekeep. Where people feel like, oh, if you're prospering, you're messing with my business. I feel like we need to completely step away from that. Because I feel like the sooner that we are able to come together as a community, we can start putting together these big hair shows, make sure people are really getting paid, not just a select few. The clipper companies picking and choosing who they want. I've heard of some people getting snubbed in situations. Some people have this thing where it's not about the quality of your cuts, but it's about the popularity that you have.
Yep.
Like let's really get into that.
Yep.
Let's start boosting everybody up. Like there's how many people are in America? There's millions of people in America. And for you not to be able to find your slice of the pie with all the people in here, because like what? All the barbers in here, we got 11 barbers in here? We got 11 barbers in here. You don't think all of us can eat with how many people that's in Atlanta?
Yep.
You don't think the other barbers in Atlanta can eat?
Yep.
You don't think everybody in here can get 100 clients? There's more than enough people.
It's more than enough people.
So why are you so scary about your stuff? Because there might be some inconsistencies in there with you and insecurities with you.
The fact that you got to hide your face, But that's just one of them things, There's always gonna be somebody that's gonna try to get some kind of publicity or try to get they followers up by doing something, and he just found something that nobody was doing because for a long time we just try to come together. It's always been some kind of unity when it comes to the barber industry. You got the Spanish barbers, they gonna do their thing. You got the black barber, they gonna do their thing. You got the white barber, they gonna do their thing, right? And there's nothing else in between that. I mean, but there's different ethnic groups, but those are the main three.
Yeah, but if you could find a way to blend between all three of them, because for real, for the Spanish barbers is, if you look at it, they kind of taking over, but that's because it's very their stuff is very boastful. It's all the colors, it's dramatic, it's so on and so forth. But then we got a lot of black barbers that be like, I'm not touching that. Like, black barbers won't touch the foundation. Black barbers are like, I'm not touching none of that. It's got to be to a point where somebody does it, and then people start requesting it for them to jump into it. And I'm like, it shouldn't take all that.
When I was in my old shop, because Jim Jones cut off his braids at one time, and he did the taper with the curly hair, right? So now in New York, everybody was doing that because Jim Jones and a couple basketball players was doing it. But in New York, it was because of Jim Jones on Love and Hip Hop. And I was in Atlanta when the sponges first got big, and I seen these barbers they was already doing a blowout, but they started to sponge it. So back in New York, everybody doing a taper blowout, but they shaping the fro. And now they getting mad because the clients, once they got the chair, the clients is messing up themselves. But you done took a whole hour and a half to shape that afro. And I'm like, yo, bro, nobody wants that no more. So I'm in the shop, I get the holding spray because I seen the platform artist using the holding spray. I seen the platform artist having a sponge, and I see them do the taper, and then they not shaping the fro. All they doing is hitting it with the holding spray, sponging it out, and that joint look amazing. So then I came back to New York, and then I did it, and all the clients wanted it now. And then I was one of the first dudes using the black ice spray. Because again, I'm at the hair shows, and then they was like, "Don't nobody want no black spray," cause they stuck in their ways. Don't nobody want that. None of these barbers was doing that at all in my shop. They were like, "Yo, I ain't doing that." Just like facials, I ain't doing no facials. Don't no man want another man touching their face.
And see that's a whole nother thing, because I offer facials as well too. You know what I'm saying? Like, my whole thing is you gotta figure out what tier of client you want to deal with, because there's certain tiers of clients that's like, nah, I actually care about how I look. You know what I'm saying? I care about if my face look cracked and dirty and stuff like that. Like, some of these people, like, you gotta think about, like, people who work on cars and stuff. They first dirty all the time. Construction workers really come in and get facials because they gotta deal with all that grit, and everything that's getting into their pores all the time. And if it goes untamed, that's when you start getting those big clogs in the pores, those super big blackheads. Don't nobody want to walk around looking like that. Respectfully. Don't nobody. If you can prevent it, you're gonna do what you can to prevent it. And sometimes it's the facial. You got men who go out here and get the manicures. What's the difference?
Well, it's just another thing you see on social media that people are doing these things. Men are going to estheticians now to get their face done, because they barber probably don't implement it. I was the one that was implementing everything. So,
but I also say, I've had clients that come to me and say, I didn't know you did that.
That too.
Well, you also never asked. But then that's also my responsibility, because I should be able to tell you, like, hey, I think you should. I would recommend you a facial.
So what I do is I do free facials from time to time. I just started implementing, like, on my platinum tier clients on their birthdays or whatever. I would give them a free facial just so that they know that I offer that service. And there's times that I may just do something free that I normally don't get to do, so people can see that I do that. So I may get a client one day and be like, "Yo, bro, just come in like an hour earlier. You know what I'm saying? I got something special for you." And I'll do a full top of the line facial, with my top tier products. Do their haircut, shampoo them out, and I'll be like, "Yeah, normally that's 150, but I just wanted to give you this because you deserve it. I appreciate you for being a loyal customer, and if you ever want it, this is what the price is." And I go from that to have a bunch of clients now that be booking.
And see, that's another thing I feel like is lost. Some barbers get so caught up with I need the money from my client that they forget to give back to their client. So personally, I offer through my booking service, when people sign up with me, I tell them to put their birthday in, because when their birthday comes around, the week before their birthday, it's in our message, hey, this is your complimentary cut for your birthday. If they have an anniversary as far as wedding or something like that, I will put tell them, put your wedding anniversary in there because I'm going to give you a free cut so that you look good when you get around your lady for your anniversary. You're going to look good on your birthday. And those are my free gifts to you for being a loyal client.
We thank you for being that kind of barber, my brother.
Yeah, man. Shoot, at the end of the day, like, if I don't got no heads to cut, I'm not making no money. And I'm not doing nothing. They pay my bills respectfully. And that's why I'd be like, if I can't communicate with you, because if I had a real boss, I'd have to communicate with them when I wanted to go on vacation and so on and so forth. The only difference is now is nobody's gonna tell me no.
Yep. You ain't got to put in that request.
I ain't got to request it. It's just, hey, I'm gonna be taking off.
Yep.
This is this. I will be back. I can cut you the day before I leave,
or when I come
the
back.
day before I leave, or when I come back. But during this time, I'm not gonna be around.
Yep.
You know, what more can you ask for? Because that's what you want from a regular job. Hey, I want to go spend time with my kids. Hey, can I take off this day? They're gonna tell you yes or no. Now it's just it's an automatic yes. Just y'all make sure y'all move some things around.
Yep. So the second question I got for you is your top five clipper companies.
Ooh. In my eyes,
top 5.
In order or no order?
No order. Just the top.
Andis is up there for me. That Masters, it's something about that Masters. I think it's that that the blade stretches up a little bit more than most, and that gives me a whole lot of room when it comes to fades and everything. Like if I could only take one clipper with me, I'm taking that Andis Master with me.
Okay, so we got Andis.
Babyliss is up there. I feel like Babyliss has a lot of variety between a bunch of different clippers. I know they came from Conair.
Of course. Yep.
So that's like Conair's premium brand.
New brand.
Yeah.
They rebranded.
And then I like how they're taking the barbers and making them like influencers through the packages. If I could, I would love to try to get my own clipper on there. But I definitely like that.
Andis, we got Babyliss.
Coco's trimmer is the best trimmer I've ever used.
Coco's trimmers.
Coco's trimmers.
Now, has it been the same since Morano left though? Or you still using the Morano torque? Because he tweaked everything before he left.
I didn't even get that deep into Coco.
Okay.
Because like I know Coco was a new brand coming out as I was coming up. I just seen them at first. I seen them at a couple hair shows, and what they do for me, they wet their hair, and then they said, "Now cut it with the trimmer." And I was like, and it just fell, and I was like, "Oh." And like for like the next 2 years, I'm like, I need them trimmers. I had bills and stuff to pay. I couldn't get them, but I kept telling myself I need them trimmers. These were the pair that I got were actually gifted to me.
By who? Somebody special. We ain't got to go into that. We ain't want to give him trouble over here. But they that person that gifted him those green goblins.
For sure.
That's what's up though. So Masters
and my first time actually using them was in a competition that I recently went to. I told Tony I was like, I need a sharp trimmer, because she seen my design work and she was just like, yeah, your trimmers ain't sharp enough. And I was like, I need a sharp trimmer. She's like, the Coco. So I went to her the day before the competition. I was like, yo, can I borrow these? And when I tell you, I was able to get that design in so quickly and so effortlessly, because like when you go try to put designs in, you gotta kind of like etch over it a couple times. I did it like this, and it was so butter smooth. I was like, oh, and then I went the opposite way to do the next line. I was like, oh yeah, nah, I need these.
Okay, so we got Andis, we got Babyliss, we got Coco. We need 2 more.
I'm trying to think about what's on my station.
Well, it don't got to be the one that you got, but the one that you looking at, the one that's sparking your interest.
The Instinct, the small trimmer. I mean not trimmer, the clipper. The Instinct Tripper. Oh no, that Tune 45 Babyliss collaboration.
Okay. Have you tried it?
I have not tried it. I've held them in my hands. I like the way they look. I like that they got the wireless charging compatibility. And I think they put a stretch blade on it just like the Masters.
Okay.
So I really want to get those in my hands so I could try to see what's going on. And then they got that trimmer that's got that reverse set. So it's kind of like the the button is on the inside and the blade's already facing that way.
Yes.
Instead of it, you flip it up and then you turn it. I think that looks dope. I definitely want to see what that is. I think that'd be great for even house calls.
Okay.
But that, I know that's an extension of Babyless.
Yep.
So, walls. I'm not a big walls guy, but the wall seniors are definitely like one of the first clippers I had as well. I think that's a great starting point. Or even the magic clips.
Magic clips is by far.
Yeah, the magic clips in the seniors. I feel like those are like legends. You know, just like the Masters of Legend. I feel like that. Like when you first look at clippers, if you're not looking at Babyless or some of these newer brands that are starting to promote themselves real heavy, you're gonna look at something in the Andis category. You're gonna look at something in the Walls category.
You have to, because those are OGs. My third question I got for you is being licensed important?
Yes.
Why?
I feel like once you start getting into certain, well, first off, sanitation is everything. Sanitation is always gonna be everything because I've heard and I've seen some barbers that they don't understand you can't use the same razor on everybody. I got some barbers that just decide they're just gonna be barbers that don't spray clipper side on their clippers after they're cutting, and they don't understand the risk they're putting these people at. You know, so I feel like for that alone, you need to be licensed or at least go to barber school. Get you some knowledge. Now, when we get into other things like color and perms and all other stuff, like that's something that definitely needs to be taught. Because we got
Yo.
big folk.
Sanitation.
Sanitation.
Dyes and stuff.
Once we start getting the dyes and other chemical services, those things are nothing to play with. You could really mess somebody up, either burn their head, all their hair fall out, and at this point, you got to also remember somebody's paying you to do these things. So once you mess them up that way, you liable for a lot of lawsuits and a bunch of other things, and they're gonna be like, well, "Where'd you get your knowledge from?" And you say, "Oh, on myself." Oh yeah, pack it up. You about to empty out the whole bank account.
Fact. I need all that money.
Yeah, they need all that and some.
Yep. And my final question for you is I want to know, what kind of barber are you?
I'm a dedicated barber. I'm a professional barber first. Hardworking. I'm very much for my clients and make sure that they're comfortable, whether it be of a celebrity status or just the mom that's bringing her son or grandmother that's bringing her grandson in to get a haircut. I like to make an environment that's applicable to everybody. You know, I don't want somebody to be like, oh, I don't want one of my Caucasian clients to come in and be like, oh, it's too black for me, or it's too, you know, or a upscale client, black or white, come in and be like, oh, you know, it's a little raunchy. So I want to give off like a certain attitude and demeanor during the haircut, and then a certain atmosphere as well that they're walking into.
Absolutely.
You know, because I've definitely had some people that be like, I can't come in, just because of the way the shop looks. Like I went to some people whose shops who I like them as barbers. And I went to their shop, and I'm like, your shop is dirty.
Yep.
Like, dirty. Like, I don't want to bring nobody here. And they offered me to come in, and I'm like, yo, like, I appreciate it, but respectfully, I have to decline. Because this not that.
It ain't for you. Nope. Trust me, I've been there. I go to shops now, people that I'm affiliated with or people that I know that I like their work. I know that they celebrity clients. They celebrity barbers or whatever. I go to their spot, I'm like, this can't be...
Where you doing all this at?
Well, yeah. And celebrities just coming there.
And be comfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is it more that they're comfortable with you? Or is it more, they have such a great rapport with you that they're not even paying attention to nothing else?
That's what it is. It gotta be. Cause I go to a barbershop. The first thing I do when I go to a barbershop, I look at the stations, I look at the chairs, I look underneath the stations, and I'll be like, nah, I would never get a haircut in there. Cause that's the first thing I look at. So, but yes, my brother, I definitely appreciate you taking the time to bless us with a whole bunch of gems, some great information. I got some gems from it, and I know that they're gonna get some gems from it. So just for us to close it out, just tell the people out there where they can find you at.
All right, so I'm on IG, I'm on TikTok, and that's Duba The Cutta. That's DubaTheCutta.
And the shop?
Oh,
Come on.
you know I'm at Apex.
Cutting in his car.
You know I'm at Apex Grooming Lounge. You know we over here. You know how we do.
You know that. Know that, man. Apex, man. One of the #1 barbershops out here in Buckhead. You know that I love it, and I don't even work here, but I come here because all the barbers is fire in here. Shout out to Big Folk. Shout out to Barber in the blood. Barber in my blood. Wait, Barber by blood. I know it. You gotta tell me. You gotta tell me. And you was in Vegas. You ain't invite nobody, so be quiet. I heard about it. I know everything. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Big Folk. Shout out to Justin. Shout out to Duba The Cutta in the building. Shout out to Ken, the owner.
For sure.
And of course, I gotta shout out to Tony Banks. Because if we don't shout out Tony Banks, she gonna give me some lashes. Did I miss anybody?
You got my boy Justin in there?
Justin's in there. Big Folk is in there.
Who else
Barber Blood is in there.
I think we got all the barbers right now. Oh no, my boy Fly Guy.
Fly Guy.
And Mr. Carlton.
Yes. Salute to all of the barbers at Apex, man. They have been welcoming to your boy Terah Da Barber Radio Shop podcast. I love the energy in here. I love all the work that they've been putting out. And you guys check out the clips that I put about them because they just dropping a whole bunch of gems. It's your boy Terah Da Barber. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Radio Shop podcast. And I'll see you next time. Peace.